In this video, we're going to desolder some through-hole components. On this board here, I've got an LED and a capacitor and some header, and I'm going to desolder the legs of these components. The method is the same. You've got to first of all heat up the solder on the pad, then place the solder sucker over the molten solder and press the trigger. If you look really closely at that, you can see that there is a hole again where the molten solder used to be. Let's do it again. I'm really good at hitting the camera with that desoldering gun. That time I didn't seem to do a very good job, so let's do it again. We'll see in a moment how good that is, but let's move on to some of these other components now. It's quite common to have to use the solder pump again and again and again to get the solder off. It only takes a tiny bit of solder to stick the leg to the soldering pad, so you really have to be quite thorough to get as much of the solder off as you can. I'm not showing this trick in camera, but I've set my soldering iron. The temperature is a little bit hotter than I would normally solder with. When I desolder, I normally do this to help it. On the whole, that's pretty good, but that first join is still got a fair bit of solder stuck in it, so I'm going to add some solder back into that join and give it a go again. This is quite a common thing to do. If you've got a join that isn't really playing very nicely with you, add a bit of solder back to it and try applying the pump to it again. On the whole, I think that's pretty good. Let's see how we went. So we'll just wiggle the components back and forth and see if they're loose. And you can see that LED, that's going to come out easily. That capacitor is still stuck in there solid. We might have to come back to this. That header is also really good too, and it's just come out easily. That capacitor, Let's just try and see if we can sneak it out without burning my fingers. Maybe it'll just pop out. There can't be much solder in here, so if I just heat it up a little bit, maybe it'll just work its way out. Like that.